Hello. How is everybody doing today? Old Bat Cats, Nancy, hello. So glad you guys are here. Me and Jeannie were
Nancy,
just
hello.
complaining
So
about the
glad you
day.
guys are here. Me and Jeannie were just complaining.
Oh, I hear an echo.
I got it. My bad.
We were we couldn't wait to get started on today's nonsense of today's court session. So it's like, wait a minute, hold on. We have to save it.
Exactly. We were backstage just complaining. Yeah.
Hey, Ariana. Hope I'm saying that right. Jennifer, so glad you're here.
Hey Mooney, Ariana. Hey Bat Two Cats. Hey guys. Hey Jennifer. Oh,
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a good day, but, you know,
oh goodness.
whenever they throw in a little bit of high school drama, it felt like between lawyers.
They're like,
That's what it,
did she know? Well, guess what? I've got this paper. He can't have that paper. Give me that paper back.
that
Can I have
paper.
the paper? I'm like,
You open the door. Stop
exactly.
taunting me. Me.
And the judge is like, knock it off, both of you. And you remember the one time he's like, can we approach? No, because I know exactly where this is
What
going.
you going? I was like, okay. And then he asked, can I approach? And the judge was like, who? Me or her?
Exactly.
Hey, Kieran. Hey, Crystal.
Hey, the
Adrian.
divine Mrs. Jones.
Hey.
Oh, Malshi. Hey, Malshi. How are you doing, love? Oh, you did not watch today, Jennifer? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gravy. We have things to talk about. And yes, we love this judge. Boy, he's like, he's going to be like a cowboy roping those two in today.
Exactly. He's so down to earth. I don't know. I just really like him. He has a good head on his shoulders, but
He
he's
does.
yeah, he has a good head on his shoulders, but he's down to earth. So he's not like overly like I don't know. Just my impression of him. Don't know
He's
him
not too
personally.
stuffy. Yeah, he's not too
No,
stuffy. Sometimes
no.
they laugh in there. Remember that one time the prosecution approached the witness, and then she was like, "Your Honor, can I approach?" And he was like, "Sure." And she's like, "No, I mean you." And he was like, "Oh, sure, sure. Everybody come up. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You can approach me. Yeah,
Why not? You know?
yeah. We like to judge too, Adrian. We really do. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, he was he was earning his paycheck today.
Oh, apparently a lot of people didn't watch today, so we have to have a good discussion here.
Yeah.
Um, Kim and I were, well, I don't know about Kim, but I was very, very excited to see Special Agent Kevin Hoyland get on the stand because what did he talk about, Kim?
Where she went.
Where she went. And I actually paused it and I was like, Kevin Hoyland, you tell me she went up to Sierra 105. You better tell me right now, buddy. And I hit
Yes.
play and I'm like, yes. You
Yep.
should have seen
Yep.
me dancing over here.
Yep.
But
Every move she made was being tracked by a couple different devices.
before we go into it, there's something I want to say. Did you hear on break when they came back? The prosecution said, I can't question him because he is Tellini's witness. I have to wait for Tellini to come back in. And so Tellini is one of Leticia's um, attorneys. You know, it's Cook and Tellini, right? So
Yeah.
why was Special Agent Kevin Hoyland from the FBI, why was he brought in by Tellini? Why wasn't he brought in by the prosecution? Like that made no sense to me. I backed it up 5 times, but it's exactly what he said. He said
Huh.
he said, I believe that Agent Hoyland is Mr. Tellini's witness, so I need to wait for him to come back in the courtroom, like before he could continue questioning. Yeah,
Interesting.
which
Huh.
yeah, and I thought, well, maybe he's going to get up there and he's going to say, well, you can't prove she went to this spot, you can't prove she went to that spot, but he didn't question Kevin Hoyland.
Not at all. I don't think he would call him without having a question for him. But
Yeah, so that
that's
was weird.
Yeah.
But yes, so when they started out the day, guys, they put on Special Agent Kevin Hoyland from the FBI, and he does cellular analysis survey team. So he does everything from he's the one who takes all the data and puts it together on a pretty map so that we can see it. Did they pass the witness to the defense? Yes, they did, and the defense didn't want him. Said he had no questions. But he did make a pretty map, and he showed where where the Tiguan went, where the Ultima went, where the phone went, where the 360 Live went. And Kim, I bet you were happy to see that they tracked that Ultima right up there to where it was.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
everywhere on her route, we finally got to see on the map where her car was, where her phone was, when her phone was on.
Yep.
It
Yep.
did prove that she. And did you hear at the beginning of the day they said she sent a text to Harley saying, "I'm leaving my phone home today"?
Yes. Before she left that Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, "I'm leaving my phone home today." So that was on purpose.
Yeah. She's gonna have her Apple Watch and
Yeah,
which was linked to Gannon's.
and its phone.
Yeah.
Oh, before we go further, there's one thing I wanted to say. Keep forgetting this. The carpet. Remember how we talked about the carpet and it was rolled up and it had that blood stain, right? And you and I could never figure out what did she do with this freaking carpet, right?
Right. Right. How did it
Well,
get blood? Why was it unrolled and then rolled
right.
up again? It didn't make any
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
Well, Mike and I, my husband and I, were talking about it because it's really bothering me. And he had an idea. He said maybe she was foolish and she watched movies and she had the idea that like rolling him up in a carpet to get rid of him would make things easier. So maybe she put him in the carpet and rolled it up and tried to drag him out and then realized carpet is very heavy and unwieldy. So she had to
Sure.
take it back out, put him in a suitcase instead. Suitcase has wheels and a
Right.
handle. Then she rolls the carpet back up and puts it in the storage room. I don't know why she didn't take it with her and dump it.
Right.
Maybe
Why
she
would she leave?
forgot. Maybe she got clumsy.
Yeah.
But I think that's what happened to the carpet. It's the only thing I could think of, but it is my
Yeah,
husband's
because it was
idea.
perfectly rolled up
Yes,
in there. It was put away,
right.
but how did it get blood on the very inside of it? It's yeah, there is
I,
no
I
nothing
think
really
I think
explains
she
that. Yeah.
I think she did not think they were going to tear that house apart like they did.
Mhm.
I think she thought she was going to report him as a runaway. They were literally going to think he was a runaway, and they were not going to search that house like that. I
Right.
think he thought, I cleaned up all the blood. I'm home free. I'll get rid of his body. I still don't understand if it was premeditated, if she turned her phone off that day or had it on airplane mode. She goes wherever she goes up there
Yep.
that morning. If it
Yep.
was premeditated, why would you bring the child back to the house to kill him instead of up there where you don't have the blood to clean?
It doesn't make any sense.
No,
It
no.
doesn't make any sense at all.
I
I
just I
yeah.
keep going back to that. I know that they're way past that in this trial. I know they are, but I keep going back to the actual crime. And
Yeah.
no, you're right. Her movements have never been logical. You are right. And maybe
No.
this isn't a logical crime, but there's one thing. You know, when she was it's a little bit past this. She was talking to the psychiatrist. She said that this whole week haunts her and it goes over and over in her mind. There is one thing. Gannon used to have a lot of accidents, right? Maybe
Mhm.
he had one and she hurt him. They were out in the car. She had given him a lot of Miralax the night before because he was trying to pass this stool, right?
Mm.
Maybe he
Mhm.
had an accident in the car and maybe she hit him. Maybe she hurt him. Then she takes him home and he's dying. Maybe she wants to finish it. I don't know, but maybe it started with something like that because Al kept saying,
Mhm.
was it an accident? I think Al knew from the beginning that Gannon did something and she just lost it.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I just keep going there. I'm sorry. Okay,
No,
fine.
no, it makes sense because this stretches over multiple days because
Hmm.
the hike started Saturday, Sunday we go into um um
Candle.
yeah, the candle and all that excitement, and then we roll into Monday, her bringing him out to the car, so no
Yep.
telling what happened until that Monday, and we know
No.
that there's multiple injuries,
Hmm.
so she could have been kids are
We think
tough, they can live
right.
through a lot, and she
So,
probably was trying,
no.
and not
Oh God,
it
you think that happened over several days?
I think it
Oh,
started on
see,
Sunday for sure.
oh,
I don't but something I think the frustration could have started on
oh, yep,
Saturday because he
of
went to the bathroom in his pants and
yep,
I'm trying to get I have to go get food because Gannon went, she sent that text to Harley
yep,
and
yep.
so I don't know.
Okay, right. No, that makes sense because I see. I kept seeing it as one event, and that one event took a lot of anger and a lot of work. Right? It's a lot
Mhm.
of work. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm trying not to be vulgar, but it's a lot of work to strangle and stab and shoot a child or anyone. So, but if it happened over several days, that makes a little more sense because you injure him a little bit more, you injure him a little bit more,
Yeah.
and then
And
you
till
finally
the
finish him. And
with the
maybe you
gunshot.
think,
Yeah.
right, you think to yourself, oh, I'm doing him a favor.
Yeah.
Because
I'm putting
she's
him
like
out of
that. Yep, she's
Yep.
like that. She does kind of fit the profile of a family annihilator, although she's female. They usually don't do that. But anyway, so um
Thanks,
yeah,
Adrian.
so the phone data today at least was very very helpful. It showed when she went to the airport, which Kim and I still believe that his body was in the Tiguan at the airport, and then she picked it up that night, and it showed that that night from like 7 or 9, I can't remember, I'd have to look, she went up to the County Road 105 area, Highway 25, and then she was up there till midnight with her phone off or in airplane mode.
Yep.
We know she was up there where the board was found, the particle board.
Yep.
And then she was there again with the Ultima.
Yep.
And he said that they had put the tracker on the Ultima, but it didn't come on until later. Remember? He said finally at 3:30 we started getting data from it, and then we found she'd gone up there. So I think that answers your question. That's why they didn't know she was going there.
Mhm, mhm. They just
So
found the board and then started searching, and it was too late. She had already picked him up at that point.
exactly right. Um, and there's something else that, well, there's something in what she said to the psychiatrist I wanted to get to, but there was something else. When I was listening to Al, um, I went through Al's phone calls again because I wanted to listen to Al's testimony, and a lot of it is his phone calls, right? There was
Right.
something she said. Okay, so imagine you're her and you're in the budget truck, you're driving across the country with your daughter and the two dogs. It's a hassle. It's really a hassle. And
Mhm.
so you go from hotel to hotel. And she said sometimes she got Ubers, sometimes she got Grubhub, because when you get to the hotel, you still need food, right? You still
Yeah.
need things. They need it. You probably need dog food sometimes, you need drinks, you need whatever. So, but
Mhm.
she was on a phone call with Al, and Al said to her, Tisha, you took $2,000 out of our account, and that's a third of what I make, and I didn't complain. And she was like, I needed that money because those hotel rooms were $185 a night. And then I had to pay for the dogs. And no, she didn't. She lied. She didn't pay for those dogs. She snuck them in. But she said to
Yep.
him, and then I had to take Ubers. At one time, I had to ask this little old man if I could borrow his car. Do you know how hard it is to ask a little old man to borrow his car?
Yeah.
Kim, what if she used that little old man's car to transport the suitcase? Because think about it. She's not going to take the big budget rental van to the bridge. That's like a neon sign. Hey, look at me. I've got a budget rental van on a bridge.
No, she took the Ultima. My thought is
No,
at
she,
3:38, she took the Ultima up to that highway and
no,
then came back.
I'm talking about in Pensacola when she dumped the body.
Oh, in Pensacola. If she borrowed that man's car?
Wait a minute. Sandy South, is that serious? They got life? Look at that, Kim.
What?
Oh my God.
Oh, really?
So that means that Heather Navarro uh, and
That
Hakeem got life.
that's
Thank you,
amazing.
Sandy South. That really makes my day. I'm
Aw.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that. Um, wow,
When you get invested in a case as much as you know the insides and outs of
that
cases.
baby, something about that baby, he got to me.
Well, it was horrible.
And I
It was
hate that
horrible.
they couldn't get the death penalty. I really wanted them to die. I know that's
Yeah.
horrible to say, but I wanted them to. He's MS-13 and he'll be protected in prison. But I'm hoping she won't at least. Maybe not.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so I'm just gonna try to get back to this. So, what I was thinking was in Pensacola, right?
Mhm.
She has to take the suitcase to the bridge. Well, would it really be reasonable to take the big budget truck to the bridge?
Oh
You
my
didn't want to
gosh.
see
I
that
didn't even
picture
think
line.
about that.
Me
Wow.
neither, but it's like a big neon sign. You can't Uber it. You're not. She didn't go rent. I know that's terrible. She didn't go rent another car, but she did tell Al that at the hotel she borrowed this little old man's car. What if she took that car and put the suitcase in it and took it to the bridge? Nobody would have a tracker on it. Nobody would have any kind of thing on it. She did have her phone, and her Verizon phone pinged in that area 1 mile from where his suitcase was dumped. But what if she took that little man's car? Because I
Yeah.
don't know how else she got him there.
That makes sense, and that is just tragic because that depending on, does he watch the news?
Does he know?
Does he
Right.
even know? Does he even care?
We don't, yeah,
He
we don't know who he is.
right.
And she could have been a lie. It could have been a lie. You know how she was. You know how she was with Al. She lied all
Yeah,
the time. But
right, right.
it sounded it sounded real to me because everything else she said, with the exception of the dogs, because Harley, well, you could see on the film, and Harley said every time they got to the hotel, Harley had to go in first and sneak in with the dogs, and then Letecia would go get the room because Harley, she didn't want to pay for the dogs. She didn't want to pay for Harley. So she didn't pay for the dog, so she lied to him about that. But then, she said we had to get Ubers, we had to get Grubhub, and then I had to ask this little man if I could borrow his car. So I don't know how else she got him to the bridge if she didn't, because I can't see her taking the big budget truck.
Mhm.
And it was what, 4:15 in the morning.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
That's
But
crazy. Yeah.
I liked. Oh, and did you notice that when they were doing the walkthrough today, there was only one visit to Petco? Did you hear that? Only one
Oh,
visit.
I didn't even pick up on it.
Yep, only one visit. They went through well, they didn't say anything about a second. They said that they watched the Petco footage and they saw her at Petco at 1:22 on surveillance.
Yep.
They didn't
Yep.
say anything about her coming back. So I don't know what that
Huh.
was. But she did say in that when she was talking to the therapist. So also what happened today, guys, was there's two people on the stand. The first was Kevin Hoyland. He was a special agent for the FBI, and he talked about all of the data points, and he showed us everywhere that Letecia went. The second witness was the psychologist that evaluated her in the jail. There was one thing that she said. She said she wished she'd never gone to Highway 25.
I bet she does wish she never went there.
Regrets taking Highway 25. Yep.
She doesn't regret taking a
Nope.
young
Nope.
boy's life and
Nope.
damaging her whole family, but
Nope.
man, I wish I wouldn't have drove up there. What?
I really wish I hadn't taken that route.
What?
Yeah, I know.
I
There's
think that
just so
that
much.
that wraps up Letecia in a nutshell. She just misses the mark at every like it's like it doesn't register with her or she doesn't hear herself talk. How does that make any I wish I didn't throw a little boy off a bridge? No, I just wish I wouldn't have went up on highway, What?
So much ego in her, so much ego. And
Oh, Misty
then
Moon,
her
thank you so
lawyer. And
much.
so for the rest of you, oh, Misty Moon, welcome to the green. Um, so then the other thing is her lawyer. I mean, he started out strong, but I don't know what happened to him, Kim, because seriously, he,
I
like I
didn't
said
ever
to you,
think he was strong. I'm sorry, I
he
didn't.
had that he had that psychologist on the stand, and I mean, he really could have torn her apart. He also could have. She was a sexual abuse like therapist. She
Yeah,
worked with sex offenders. He could
yeah.
have really torn Leticia's life apart. Talked about how she left at 16, that she married young, that she was promiscuous. He could have proven she was sexually abused as a child. He could have proven it. He had someone there to help him prove it. And what did he do? He talked about the jail and how they had COVID, and he talked
I
about
think
how the jail got sued.
I
What?
think he's
What?
saving the big guns for his own witness. I'm
Maybe.
because she was only testifying basically before they came on because they had gotten new she had different lawyers. And so I bet that
Who was
it
only testifying?
she was testifying to her first experience when she got locked up. Not she didn't continue to
Oh,
see her.
gotcha.
Yeah, and so I think
Oh, right,
I
right,
didn't
right,
really
right.
get a timeline, but maybe I don't I in my head I have like a year, but don't quote me on that because I don't know if that's right, but it was up to a
Yeah.
point that she,
Well,
you know,
she said that until January, Letitia told her she had to stop talking to her because her lawyers didn't want her to talk to her anymore. So
okay.
that's all she got out of her was up to January. Yeah. And
Did you hear that
yeah,
right? That
I know.
she
Dr.
ate
Lewis
her poo.
really did.
No, no, I did hear that, but I would love to see that.
Yeah,
I would like a
Jennifer.
recording.
Yeah, Jennifer, I agree. It is insulting that she's claiming insanity. And, they're trying every way they can to get DID. And there was something that that I heard last night that really rang true. And when we had Amy on yesterday, I should have mentioned it. There's something that happens to her a lot. It happens all the time. Items will show up that she's bought. She has no idea where they
Mhm.
came from. It
Right.
just happens. It happens all the time. And they are items that her core personality would want. Things that she wouldn't want, like frilly hair bows or pink shirts. She doesn't like that kind of thing, but her core personality does. So uh, other alters order things; they just show up. It's something that happens when you have DID. You lose time. You end up with packages you didn't buy. You say things to people that you don't remember saying. So this doctor said she didn't hear any of that. Everybody has said they don't hear any of that.
Right.
And Dr. Lewis is going to come on and say she heard that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Letitia will she can recite a book if she read anything about DID or got a copy of the
Yes.
of it
Well,
to say her symptoms. I'm sure she didn't know that in the beginning because she wasn't claiming that she
yep.
wasn't. She just kept saying she was innocent. I'm innocent. I'm going to
Well,
prove this. I'm going to sue all you guys,
but
for,
then she
and
got
I'm going to
access
be
to the law
rich.
library. But then she decided to go pro se and she got access to the law library. What if she
Right.
found one of those cases?
Sure.
And some of those cases, if you could find appeals, they will tell you exactly what happened in court. How the defendant acted.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
and she wouldn't want to represent herself and prove insanity. I mean,
no,
is there a way to do that? I don't think so.
not easily, not easily, not easily.
I
Look
would
at
love to
that.
watch that type of trial, though. I'm defending myself. Oh, thank you
Oh,
so much.
I had my fill with Daryl Brooks. Grounds. Oh, I did watch it though, and sometimes I actually put it on when I'm just trying to relax. So yeah, it is funny. Hey, look at that. Thank you, Misty Moon. That's outstanding. But yeah, I was very excited today to see finally that they showed all of her travel, all of where she was. She can't get out of that. Um, Yeah, what's she gonna say? It was someone else?
Yeah.
Right. Someone else.
Yeah.
It was
The
someone else. Yeah.
yeah, the fact that
Do you
she
know that at the end, her her lawyer was asking,
oop, you're kind of breaking up.
I,
Oh, can you repeat it? I
hello?
didn't think you're Yeah, okay, I can hear you now. Oh, and now I can't
Oh
hear
no,
you
go
again.
ahead. What were you saying? The fact that she what?
Oh, no.
Was gone?
Go ahead. What were you going to say? I think you were in the middle of something.
No, I was just saying that I don't think she's going to be able to effectively do it. Um, to like I said and like Emmy said, to prove DID, other people would have to know. You have to reach out.
Mm,
You have to go. Like that the counselor was saying on the stand. Things
yep.
happen that you need help with. You start losing time. You start running into people that say you're a liar, like Emmy said.
Mhm.
People thought she was a
Mhm.
flake because one week she liked Dr. Pepper, the next week she liked Diet Coke. Literally polar opposites. One week she liked fish, the next week she was a vegetarian. Like one week she ate so much meat, and the next week she was disgusted by it. Like everybody thought she was a complete flake. No
Yeah.
one considered DID. Well, Letitia has a pretty steady personality, right?
Mhm.
She's got a
Mhm.
pretty steady flow, although she's manipulative and she has OCD.
Mhm.
Everybody, I think a lot of people have a touch of OCD. Um,
Mhm.
her family called it obsessive cleaning disorder.
Mhm.
So, you know, I don't know. I would just love for her to take the stand.
Oh my gosh. And
Oh,
just watch the
oh
pieces crumble in front of her. I love it when she said
yes,
she told medical the doctor today, I'm gonna be rich because
yeah.
she's gonna sue him. I just loved her just saying she's gonna get rich, and it was like,
Well, she
in
was
what
saying
world
that
do you
before. She was saying that before to Albert. I'm going to sue everyone. Pretty soon, everyone's going to know that I didn't do this. I'm going to be rich. I'll never have to work again in my life.
life?
How
Right.
does that work? When a child is found that was missing, how do you get paid?
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh my gosh. And yeah, like you said, exactly what you just said, because they did ask the doctor if her husband would identify, family members would come forward and say, yeah, we've seen this where she doesn't remember something that she did, or she went out
Right.
shopping and bought something. Albert never had anything to say in regards
Mm-mm.
to that, just that she was
No.
manipulative, and we
Yeah.
see that
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. She didn't just start being that way. He knew she
No.
was that way.
Yeah, that's been going on long
Yeah.
before this trial. I can't believe they were married for 6 years. And then they
I
said that,
know.
that he would tell her that he made enough money, but
Oh yeah. What was that? What was that she
she
tried
didn't
to
want
say? Yeah, he
she
made the money, so he made a lot of money, so she needed to stay home and take care of the kids, and
for the
she couldn't
kids.
do that.
No, she wanted to use her doctorate's degree as a flight attendant.
Yeah, right? How is there logic in that woman?
Oh,
I
no, but
mean,
that's what
if she had said, I want to use my degree to be a professor, I want to use my degree to be, I don't know, even a school teacher, whatever, I might be able to get behind that. But to be I'm not saying there's anything against flight attendants. I think they're lovely.
yeah.
But
Oh, yeah, for
heaven
sure.
help us if she had actually become one. Oh my goodness.
You asked for an extra Coke, and she just push you out eject you
Yeah,
out of
she
the
throw you out the
emergency door,
door. That's it. You're gone. Can I
or
have extra
spilling on
ice?
you.
You're out of here. Yeah.
You're out of here.
Can I have some more peanuts? No more peanuts for you. Yeah, I think
Oh,
I think that the flight attendant's job was because she wanted out. She wanted away from Albert. She wanted away from the kids. Absolutely, she wanted away from the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
She didn't want. She kept saying. She said to John Grusing, the FBI agent, "I wanted those kids full time. I wanted them in my house. I wanted to be the mom." But she was lying. She did not want them there. She didn't want them to stay home and take care of them. And you know what? I have a question. Why didn't they just get a nanny?
I
Why didn't
know.
she, why didn't she just work? And then and then he just get a nanny. I think flight attendants are great. Old bat, two cats. I think they're wonderful. They're always very helpful, lovely people. Sometimes when I have a panic attack, they hold my hand. I mean, that's great.
Right. Right.
I don't. Sometimes I fly good, sometimes I don't. But yeah, I don't understand why they didn't just get a nanny. And it wouldn't have been very long, right? It was only a few hours at night. You know, I just don't get it, and it made no
Just
sense
for
to me.
help with them. Yeah.
They had
It's
plenty of money, right? So I don't know. Well, I say they had plenty of money, but I don't know because they did have three vehicles. Albert was paying on his truck. He was paying on Harley's Volkswagen, and they had the lease vehicle. Lease vehicles are not cheap. They're nice, but they're not cheap. So he was paying on three cars and the house. So I
right.
don't
Right.
know what kind of disposable income they had, but
Right.
you could get you could get a regular car, not a lease, get a job, and then have a nanny.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
There
just
was
seems wrong.
definitely other solutions for sure. Just leave.
Yes,
It wasn't her kids. She could the
right.
door's right
She could have
there.
just taken Harley and gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever income she had, go stay with family, go yeah, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah, she should have got help
right. And,
or at
and there's the
least
whole, she tries to tell anyone that'll ask that Gannon, she was closest to Gannon. Gannon was her favorite. You ask Al, and he'll tell you straight up it was Lena. She was closest to Lena. And Harley
yeah.
said she was closest to Lena. I mean, I'm sorry. No, Mooney, I cannot imagine her being a flight attendant. I just can't.
That's when I
I don't
why
know though. She's manipulative, but she's also a people pleaser. She might be good at it. I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I mean, people didn't see through her, so I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
That's when I heard
yeah,
her say yesterday when she
she's
said
scary
to
too.
um the profiler, she said, I just want you to know Gannon was my favorite. And he's just like, I
Yeah,
don't care if he was your favorite. I want to know if he's alive.
right. Yeah,
I
yeah. He
want to
said, "I
know
don't
where
care if
he's
he's your
at.
favorite. I want to know. I want to know that your last image of him. I don't care if he's your favorite. You know,
Yeah.
she
It's
would
like
just
she's
bother
having a
leave.
moment with him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I just want you to know. Yeah, and she would get all quiet. I just want to tell you in private that this is this. In
I know you're not
private,
supposed
there's
to
like
say that.
the district attorney is listening. You're being recorded. There's nothing private, Letecia. He's an FBI agent. This isn't private. And then what did she try when they walked out the door? She tried again. When they walked out the door, she said, "You and I should go to North Carolina." He was like,
Yes.
"Is Gannon in North Carolina?" She didn't answer. What did she just want to take a trip? And what were they going to do? Wander around? Ugh.
She was she was flirting with him. I think because he challenged her in a
Yep.
way that some others, I'm not going to say any names because, they're already victims, but like others haven't in the past. And so she liked being challenged or something. I don't, or maybe she just flirts with anybody to get her way. I don't
It's
know. Maybe that's
possible.
her.
Well,
But that was
it is a
weird.
coping mechanism
That
that
was weird.
you
I
know
was
that
like, whoa.
you know children adolescents that are abused, they do learn that as a coping mechanism. They do
Yeah.
learn to use their selves to get what they want. It's something ingrained. It's not anything I would hold against anyone. I'm just saying that. So it's possible that that's just how she was. And
Yeah.
no, it's not off topic, Misty Moon. I would bet she did get Social Security for Harley's dad's death, and that might be why she refused to let Al adopt her. I don't know. He said he
Oh,
tried for 5 years, and I didn't think about that, but you're right. Um, I can't remember what he did for work. Um, his name was Chance MacArthur Hunt. Oh, I was just doing research about him. I can't remember what he did for work. He had a lot of family. He had like a mom and a stepdad and a mom and then another dad and then somebody called a dad. He had so much family, so many people that loved him.
okay.
And they
Oh,
were
wow.
all in Lumberton, where her family is. Like,
Okay.
there's a lot of overlap. There's a,
Gotcha.
there's a lot of overlap. And yeah, her tone with cursing was so different. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She just kept going, sir, sir. I don't know why you're talking about that, sir. It has nothing to do with that, sir. Haven't you have a child? Haven't they ever bled? Haven't they ever had a nosebleed? And he's thinking, they've never had a whole corner saturated with blood, lady.
Blood. Right.
I really wish that he had shown her that at least the blue star from the room, at least that, and
Yeah.
said, explain that to me.
Yeah.
Show me how that corner saturated blood all the way to concrete. You tell me that, you
Right.
know. But I mean, I get why he didn't. They can't really do that, but
Yeah, I think he was trying to just stay at the same level to make her not paranoid that he was out to get her, and she was just falling for it each time. He's like, "Do you want me to ask them to leave for you? Do you
yeah,
if you don't want to answer, then don't just make something up. Just
yeah,
tell me you don't
exactly.
want to answer. Just don't tell me any lies. Just
Don't
tell
lie
me
to
you
me
don't."
because it is illegal, and I will prosecute you. Well, on the Vanessa Guillen case, the the girl who was the boyfriend, the girlfriend of the guy who killed her, he helped clean up. She helped get rid of the body. She lied to federal agents several times during the investigation, and they are charging her with 5 federal crimes for lying to them. Like
Wow.
five out of 8 of her charges are for lying to the FBI. So they're not playing around. They really
Sure.
mean it.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the other ones are accomplice to murder. So she's got some big charges that she pled guilty to. But anyway, yeah, uh,
And
yeah, but it was really different. Yeah, she couldn't have made herself look more guilty if she tried. No, you're
oh
right.
no. No.
And going out of the room to talk about Angel. Oh, can we just discuss Angel? Because what was that?
I
Al is sitting in that courtroom and he has got to be wanting to stand up and just scream at her.
exactly.
I mean, do you think she just made up that whole story about the threesome?
I'm
Okay, so
probably. I
this
don't believe
is this the story? They found this girl Angel on this app. They get her to babysit their kids and have a threesome with her. Is that what she said? That is
I
what
that's
she said,
what
right?
that's one heck of a nanny. They should have hired her full
Right.
time.
So they know how to get a nanny. They know the concept. I mean, I don't know.
That is so weird. She is again, I think she was just flirting with them. I don't know. I
I
don't know.
know. I know.
But I loved today. Well, once we moved past all the where she went, which kind of answered most of the questions that I had, but of course now I have a
Yes.
50,000 more, but um
Yeah.
because of just of the times that in my head I kind of had a theory and then it was like, okay, well, if she didn't go
Everything moved.
back,
Yeah.
pardon me? Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
moved because I thought she went back. I thought she took him out there in the morning, but she
mhm,
didn't, right?
right.
We both thought she got up in the morning, she put him in the Tiguan, took him up
Yep.
there. She didn't. She left him parked at the damn airport all day.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like,
On. Yeah.
you couldn't write this in a book if you tried. You really
Not
couldn't.
yeah. Nope. Although the people will, because this story is
It will
Chris
be a
Watts. I
movie.
mean,
It will.
yeah. What's the other? There's movies on every one of them, so yeah, I'm pretty sure there will be. Hard for me
There
to
will
imagine.
be, I'm sure. And yeah, but yeah, then I thought that's exactly what I thought. I was waiting to hear that she went from the house that morning to County Road 105, Highway 25. but she didn't. She went to the airport. It was after that end of that day.
Mhm.
Then she took him up there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I don't know. Are we thinking that she took him up there and then she thought, oh, I didn't like what she didn't bury him well enough? Do you think I mean, are we thinking that she just put him there temporarily? She was up there for what, 4 hours? Is that what I have? Hang on, let me look.
Yeah.
She was up there for several hours. Let me look. Oh,
And
she
this
turned her
was
phone off.
on.
She turned her phone off, and 7:57, Tiguan heads
Mhm.
to County Road 105. She was in
Yep.
airplane mode. Let's see. Yeah.
So was she just did she think that he was gone? No, because he got out of the car and came back to the house. Are we are we assuming? I don't know.
Okay. So she turned her phone off at 7:57, but she either put it on airplane mode or turned it off. Now, what that did was turn off the cell data, but not the Wi-Fi. And she went to where the borders are covered. At 12:53, she turned the phone back on. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 hours. Yeah, that's what it was. That was right. So for 4 hours, she was up there with his body. What was she doing?
Mhm.
I mean, what was she
What
doing?
what yeah, burying
Was she
it?
burying him?
I don't
And then she
know.
maybe she was burying him, and she thought, okay, well that night she was going home to Al, so maybe she thought she could still work it out. Then when Al and her, when everything blows apart, she doesn't want to leave the body there. She knows she's going to South Carolina. So then she changed her mind and says, oh, I'll take the body with me. Do you think that's how it happened?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah,
4 hours is a long damn time with
I
simple,
know. Exactly. What are you
and it's not like
doing?
she went very far. She traveled like 20 minutes. She didn't go very
Yeah,
far.
right. Yeah, we'll assume even if you do an hour for travel time,
Sure,
there and
let's give her
back.
some extra time. She's still up there 3 hours with a body.
Yeah. Doing what?
The body of a little boy that she is supposed to have loved.
Yeah.
I mean, she gave him baths, she hugged him, she got him dressed, she fed him,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just there with his body for 3 hours. I just don't.
Don't know. Yeah. And it's winter. It's cold. It's not like she's just kind of wandering around
Okay,
on a
so
nice
she
day.
backed her car into the garage. Okay, so here's what she did. That morning, the morning of the 28th, she got up, she took the Tiguan out. I think she went to get coffee. She only went like 15 minutes away and came back.
Yep.
Her Tiguan and her phone went, she came back. That is when she backed into the garage. That is when Kim and I believe she put the suitcase into the Tiguan.
Mm-hmm.
Then she went about an hour later. She left in the Tiguan and went to the airport. She parked it in short-term parking and then went and got Al and got that Kia and
Mm-hmm.
rented the Kia because she couldn't
Yep.
drive around with Al and the Tiguan all day. And Al
Mm-hmm.
knew that something was up because he said, we just parked the Kia and drove my truck all day. So there was no reason for us to have the Kia, you know? Oh, and speaking of, I thought, why is everyone saying that she drove Al's truck that day? Was it that she took Al's truck to um Garden of the Gods?
No, on that Monday at 10:30 when they left, she took Al's truck.
So she took Al's truck to Petco.
Yes.
Okay, did they find any blood in Al's truck?
Not that I've heard so far.
Okay,
Nothing was in the affidavit. No, I didn't see anything, but that doesn't
so
mean it doesn't exist.
that's where she was driving around that Monday. Or well, we don't know. She said she
Yeah.
got Dunkin' Donuts. Maybe she
Yeah.
got coffee. She doesn't remember. She maybe got
Yep.
gas. She don't remember.
Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
there's a pregnant lady, but maybe not. Definitely Petco. Sorry
Definitely
about
needed
that.
those three.
I have to throw her in. I'm crazy about her. Have to throw her in. And then Petco for sure. But she was gone what, 4 hours? 11, 12,
Yeah.
1, 2. Yep, another 4 hours. I guess that's her time limit. I don't know.
I don't know. What take is it? Is it a 4-hour walk? Is it a 3-hour walk? An hour and a half wherever she went into the
Oh,
woods or something?
don't know.
She is athletic. Is that possible? I don't know. But he wasn't, as far as we know, he hadn't passed until Monday afternoon because he came back with her.
Yeah, exactly.
I think. I don't
Well,
know.
well, yeah. Well, okay, so they talked about the shadow, right? As far as investigators think, they think he came back to the house and that
Yeah.
between 2 o'clock and um what
4:30
yeah, two
when
o'clock and
Harley.
4:30 he was killed. And that's when she sent them to to get the supplies to clean up the room. But
Yeah.
I I'm not so sure. I'm really not because Gannon got into the driver's side of the truck, right?
Mhm.
And they left.
Yeah.
And she said he stayed in the back seat laying down playing his Switch. So to me, he would get out of the driver's seat when he got out.
Mhm.
I don't know why he would get out on the passenger side. And it looked like a shadow. It didn't look like a person's legs.
It looked like a shadow to me too.
So I'm not even sure that she brought him back. But and nobody saw him. Lena didn't see him. Harley didn't see him. Nobody saw him. The only evidence we have that he was there is all the blood.
Yeah.
So
And that
that
could have happened at any point.
could have happened the night before with the candle. When something happened. There's one thing that is true. She was freaking out about whatever happened. On that video, she sounded really freaked out. Um, I don't think it was about a carpet. I don't think she thought they had to sell the sofa. Not if they
Right.
had an extra $2,000 in there. Remember that.
Yeah.
Here he is on video telling him, "Oh, we're gonna have to sell something. Might have to sell your Switch. We might have to sell this. Oh no, not the Switch. We might have to sell our sofa so that we can, pay for it." They had $2,000 in their account
Yeah.
because like 3 days later she took it. But she sounded really upset. Something happened that really got her going that night
Right.
before.
And she needed to record it almost as proof of something. But what
Yes,
that
but
he
what?
that he wasn't hurt because as soon as he said I'm worried about my burns, shh.
Yeah. And why exactly didn't she show him? She didn't show his face. She didn't show him.
Yeah.
I don't.
Bean Feathers, you asked the question, in your opinion, what did she do to kill him? He was
Oh,
stabbed, shot, and bludgeoned in the head 4 times, and some strangulation as well. So
yeah.
she did the whole
She did the
gamut on
most.
him.
Bean Feathers. She did everything, and we don't know if it was overkill, like as in a moment of passion, not passion as in what sexual, but as in
Right.
anger,
Heat of the
rage.
moment.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't know if it was that or if it was that she kept trying to kill him and wasn't getting it done. A lot of people don't realize that it is actually very hard to kill a person. If you listen to killers, they will tell you it's very hard to strangle someone. It is very hard to stab someone and get it right the first time. So possibly she did these things. It didn't work. She kept trying other things. And then she knew the gun would work. And the gun did work. The medical examiner said that she believes at the very least the stabbings were first because he had defensive wounds on his hands and his arms. So he held his hands up and he did fight back.
Yeah. Yeah. So that proves that I mean, it doesn't prove that the final blow didn't kill him, but he was
No,
alive during the attack, and
he was
yeah,
he wasn't asleep. He might have been a little drugged because he did have hydrocodone in his system. We believe that's because of the burns. She knew that the burns hurt. Maybe she drugged
maybe.
him to do what she was going to do. That we don't know, but yeah, psycho frenzy comes to mind. It was either that she kept trying, or yes, he's putting his hands up. He was trying to defend himself, and good for
Yeah.
him. Good for
Sure.
him. I am damn glad that he made it hard for her, and I hope she has to live with that forever. You know, Colorado doesn't have the death penalty, so she does have to live with it forever, no matter what.
Forever. Exactly. No matter what.
No matter what. Yeah.
But and then how the doctor, how they went into asking the she's not a psychologist. What is her title?
She is
The
I'll get it. Hang on, love.
I just keep calling her the doctor, but I'm not exactly sure what her title is, and
I'm
I'm
sorry, I
sure
got
they
her.
said it. So
Yep.
she
Dr.
has been
Christine Moore is the clinical program director. She's a doctor
clinical.
of clinical psychology, and they did qualify her as an expert witness, but she's currently clinical program director for that sexual sex offenders program. But she
Hmm.
has a doctorate in clinical psychology, so she's a
So when they
psychologist.
Yeah, when they started asking her questions about, when she first got there and how Letecia was playing the card that I'm so much better than this and I don't have any mental issues
Oh yeah.
other than my anxiety, which I think
Yep.
is true. Just
Oh
being
yeah.
a parent, a normal parent without any outside factors, it's stressful
Yeah.
and anxiety
Sure.
happens to the best of us. The most, you know, best people ever have anxiety. That means absolutely nothing, but it is, I believe she truly did have that.
Oh
The
yeah.
only thing she
I
had,
believe it
but
too.
anyways. And so that was, and then up until the time when she was trying to plead insanity or meet some requirements for that is when she switched. And the doctor seen right through it. She's
Oh
like, I've
yeah.
seen it before.
Yeah. She said I've seen inmates that go and have evaluations and come back and all of a sudden they have symptoms.
Right.
Which I love that she said that. And Aesop's inspiration wants to know, is there any possibility that they could reinstate the death penalty just for this case? Well, I don't think Colorado is going to do that. I would love that, but I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
I don't think so. That would be nice, but no, I don't think so. It was really odd. I thought that this doctor did a really good job. I think she explained to the thing is she did not talk about Letecia being manipulative. She did talk about how she wanted a different diet. She
Hmm.
didn't talk about the poison and her losing weight and getting on the inshore, but she might not have been treating her then because
True.
remember that I think that happened later. I'd have to look at my dates on the letter she sent to the judge, but
Well, she did say that she tested her for celiac and she didn't have anything to prove that she had celiac, but they were just trying to accommodate her. So
yeah.
they put her on this special diet even though they felt that she didn't need it. So I think she was alluding that she was manipulative. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time saying that word today. I've only said it 30,000 times
Being
during this,
Letitia, yeah,
but I think yeah, I think that she said it without saying the
yes,
exact words. So you
exactly.
could kind of hear her undertone of, yeah, she was
Oh,
lying to get her way.
oh yeah, she was trying. She said inmates do it all the time.
Inmates
And
do
I
it all the time,
told
yeah.
you the things she did about the law library and how she tried to, yeah. If you think about it, think about what Letitia's like and how she tried to lead Al around by the nose. I have information, but I'm not going to give it to you until you give me what you want. I can imagine what she's like in jail. She is probably, kicking up a fuss every time she can because she's not going to like the food. She's not going to like anything. And I don't think she has family support because, when her brother got on the stand, he said he hadn't talked to her or seen her since they left. I think when
Right.
she got arrested, so I don't think she's got money on her books. So if you don't have money on your books, you can't have good food. Can you imagine if she's actually eating jail food?
Oh, yep.
Oh, and Patricia Burns. Um, Pedos give alcohol to children. Now, I don't know
What
why
was
he did
that?
that. Here's the thing. Yeah, okay. So there are some um pedophiles that will give alcohol to children to lower their inhibitions and then assault them. Yeah, that happens. And maybe it happened to Letecia. He might be saying that. However, I don't know why he pushed it so hard. And I don't know why she pushed back. Why she didn't just say, yep, that happens. you know. But more than likely, what usually happens is that the child is groomed, and then it happens not consensually, but the child is groomed to think that it is acceptable. That is how it works. They take your defenses down, and then that's how it works, you know.
Yeah, it
So
was just
I
so
don't know why he
weird.
just kept saying, and then he wanted to talk about is molestation the same thing as sexual assault. And she, I think she differentiated because people will say I was molested or I was assaulted. They will say, they will use different words. So she was trying to say different words, and he got kind of offended at that. Like, you don't
Yeah.
think they're the same? Like,
Yeah.
she's not defending it, buddy. She's just trying to. God.
She's just explaining he was I don't know the defense. I don't know any cases he's done. I don't know if he's good, bad, what, but the questions he asks is so around the
Yeah.
point of I'm like, why are you
What are you
even
doing?
asking that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the whole arguing over this that
Oh, the list.
the list thing, and the judge even said he's like, we're not I've already instructed the jury not to whatever you guys say, any attorney says is not the truth. And all that's
So
been suggested is to this point. And he's like, oh, well, we need to call their other. And the judge is like, why? What? Can you please just defend your client and stop worrying about this dumb stuff?
For those of you on here who don't know what we're talking about, towards the end of today, the prosecution, well, actually, the defense started this. The defense was talking to the Dr. Moore. Dr. Moore had said she was the one that informed Letecia that Gannon's body was found. And when she informed her, Letecia said, I've never been to Florida. She said she did not tell Letecia the body was in Florida. Now, when when Will Cook got up on the stand, the defense, he said, did you know that her lawyers came in and told her just before? Well, there was a big objection because he was violating attorney-client privilege when he said that. You can't tell in court what her lawyers said to her. So then they had to have a sidebar. Then he tried it again. He was like, well, did you know that her lawyers came to visit her? Once again, there was another objection. This kept happening, and he kept trying and trying. Well, he wanted to make the point her lawyers told her first, and her lawyers told her that he was in Florida. Well, that's
Right.
it's attorney-client privilege, Will Cook. You cannot bring it in. Yeah, I don't care how you ask, you can't get it in. So then he sits down. Well, then the prosecution, you already put this in there, Will Cook. So the prosecution comes up with, this is hilarious, comes up with the actual jail record, the sign-in sheet, the visitor sheet for that day. Brings it up and shows it to the witness and says, do you see her lawyer signed in on that day? Well, then Will Cook has a freaking cow back there because he's like, she can't testify to that. And so they do this business exceptions records exception, which technically it did work. She got to say that the attorney is not listed on the sign-in sheet. Then he sits down. Well, then Will Cook stands up again. Well, did you know that this was at the time of COVID, so attorneys had to do WebEx. And did you know that WebEx isn't on that? And she's like, I didn't know that. So they end for the day. And then Will Cook says, I want to bring in 2 attorneys tomorrow to testify that they talked to Letecia on WebEx, that they told her that, the body was in Florida. And the judge was like, well, that's attorney-client privilege. They can't say that.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? Like, yeah, he exactly said, defend
You're
your client.
wasting your time. She said she did it. She said she did it. Like,
it's like he's trying to prove she's not guilty.
Yeah.
You're taking the wrong tactic here, buddy. You need to start making her look better as opposed to trying to say she didn't do it. It's like he forgets every once in a while that she's pleading guilty.
Yeah.
Not guilty by insanity is a guilty plea. It's saying, I did that, but I was crazy. Right. I don't know. I think he forgets.
I loved how he would ask a question and then the doctor would respond and she didn't give him the answer he wanted. So he'll re-ask the same exact question. And it's like, asked and answered, asked and answered. But he was so like, it's the same exact question, but he would just like his breath tones and his tone of his voice would change, like more of like a stern. Is that,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's like
it's
he was,
not going to change your answer. What are you
no,
doing?
exactly. And it was sitting there going, my husband was even going, ask and answered, and he doesn't even really listen to this. Even
Yeah,
he knew.
right. Asked and answered. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their reputation is or what, but so far it's just like, I'm glad that today he finally did get up. This was his moment to ask those questions. And when he first started out and he's like, yeah, I have lots of questions for you. And then the judge was like, okay, well, if you could find a 5-minute break between now and,
Yeah.
a good breaking point. He's like, we can do it now.
Yeah.
It's like, I
right
thought
now.
you had all these questions.
Yeah.
I thought you were on
And
what happened?
He had just asked her a question about suicide, and he's like, we can do it now.
We can do it
What
now.
the
And
heck?
the judge is like, we don't have to do it right. He's like, whoa, I'm way above my head. But then did you see him at the end? They were like laughing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and I'm like, with Letecia, I'm like, what are they laughing about? And what did
I know.
Letecia do to her hair today?
Well, I said to my husband, I'm like, is she just looking down at the ground? Because all I could see was black. I couldn't even see her face. I'm like,
She
what did she do? Is she just looking down at the ground? And then finally she raised her head. I'm like, there she is. I don't know what she did to her hair. I don't know. And yeah, I think, yeah, Nancy Moon said, I think he was trying to move. He didn't lie when he kept asking. It's
I think so.
possible.
I think it
It's
was him proving
possible.
that he didn't lie. He doesn't want to get disbarred or something. And the judge was even like, it was just a suggested
Yeah.
statement to this point. There's no proof or anything like that. It's not necessary.
Right. Well, and the point was, you know, the question that the prosecution gave to the doctor was, do you know for sure if anyone told her? And she said, I don't know. So it wasn't like they had set in stone that no one told her. Attorney could have told her. The doctor didn't set in stone that she was the first. She thought she was, but
Right.
She said she didn't know for sure. They didn't like set it in stone.
Right.
All of a sudden, yeah, Will Cook's up there having a cow.
Yeah, and the only thing that I could think of is that later he's going to say she doesn't remember doing any of it, that she was
Maybe.
having these lapses. That's the only reason why I would see him pushing, unless he is worried about his reputation or something. I don't know.
That, you know that if they do that, then they're going to have to bring Harley back as a rebuttal witness. Because Harley is going to be able to say that she was with her mom right after these events and her mom was acting normal.
Yep.
She was driving the truck. She was taking them to eat. She was taking the dogs out for walks. Because think about that. When you're traveling, you also have to stop and take the dogs for walks. You have to walk around little park areas. You have to stop at rest stops. I mean, they went everywhere. Think about how many people were around that truck. I mean, I've traveled across the country in a truck like that with dogs and with the dog and 4 cats. And yeah, crazy making. But you literally, I mean, you have to stop and you have to take the dog out for a walk.
Sure.
You have to get food. You have to do.
You have to eat. Yeah.
So Harley's gonna be able to say, "Yeah, my mom was fine." No, it wasn't another person. It was my mom. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to bring a copy of the WebEx. That would be easier. Why can't they just bring a copy of, like, a link that says the lawyer's logged in?
Or just move on. Like, just move on. Use your resources to get another doctor's opinion or get your story straight. Just no.
But putting lawyers on the stand, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Because you know what happens if he puts the lawyers on the stand and she waives privilege, then the prosecution gets to ask them questions. And I don't know if it'll be limited to just what they said that day. Can it be limited, or will it actually be open privilege? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
But it's scary. I think he's risking a lot for nothing. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Nope.
And then
she had a bun today.
Yeah, she had a bun, and then she had like 2 strings hanging down the sides of her hair.
I couldn't see it. I could never see her. I, I could never see her.
Bun was given evil cinnamon.
I could never see
Oh.
her.
Well, I don't know if you guys seen the thumbnail from today, but it is when she first went into jail, and then versus her just going in, and then her not eating, and then now you see her, and it's like this progression of every criminal that we see
Yep.
that goes through, and the food isn't good, but there's not a lot of activity either, so
They change a lot.
they change a lot, and no
Right.
drugs, no exercise. I think she's locked down for 23 hours a day, which
Right.
does not break my heart one bit.
Nope.
She
Nope.
can't manipulate people. She
Nope.
can't force her way, connive into somehow get her way for
Nope.
whatever her goal is that day. It's just locked down for 23 hours and with her thoughts and her,
Well, and
whatever
she
she
was
did.
saying, she told that doctor that the way she managed her anxiety was she ate a healthy diet, a lot of fresh fruits, and she exercised. I'm telling you, she's not getting any of that in there.
No,
I mean, unless she wants to just exercise by herself in her cell, she could
yeah,
do that. But she's not getting fresh fruit daily.
no.
I
And
don't think so.
no, I think she too is now succumbed to taking medication, whereas because the doctor said when she first got there she wanted out of the ward,
Yeah,
and she's like, you guys are going to force me to take medication, and I know you guys have stuff pumping through the
yeah,
vents to sedate all of us. I
yeah,
want out of here. And then she went for the insanity, or at
yeah,
least later down the road, once she did more research, she's like, I need to go back there and I need to get medication.
yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Teen Feathers, you're right. It drives me crazy that she doesn't stand for the jury. I hate it when a defendant does that. I'm
That.
sorry. I
Hmm.
don't care what you're accused of. If you're sitting in that courtroom, you better be on your feet.
Those people I have given up their lives for $8 an hour and a free burrito for lunch in
Exactly.
a couple of weeks of
And look at what they have to sit through, and look at the
God,
pictures they have
yes.
to look at. They have to be traumatized because of something you did. You better be on your feet.
Yes. Just respect the system, whether
Yeah.
you're guilty, innocent, or whatever. Just be respectful. She knows right from wrong. Sh-
I complain about that so much the other night. The other day, I was sitting here, and my husband and son were in the living room too, and the judge said, "All rise for the jury," and they both stood up. I was like, "I love you guys so much." Here I was getting ready to take notes, so I'm not standing up, obviously, but they're like, "We're standing for the jury." I'm like, "You two sit down."
Oh, that's funny. I think just to introduce them is up to Letecia.
Lie, Tisa. Yeah,
Not lie.
yeah, exactly. I don't know what she had wrong with her name. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it, but But then again, her sisters are named Julie and Amy, and she's Letecia. She probably was mad at that.
Sure.
She probably wanted to be a Sarah, or a Heather, as opposed to, a Letecia. I get that, sure. I mean, Jeannie is not my first name, so I get it. I get not wanting to go by your first name.
Yeah. They seem to have brought up Brenda's name. Brenda, they called her Brenda
Brent,
Yokes. Yokes?
Brenda
Yokes?
Lowell, Lowry, Brenda
Lowell.
Lowry.
Lowry.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Aunt Brenda. Aunt Brenda. Her name is spelled awkward, but it's pronounced acquired.
Acquired. Okay.
Yeah, Aunt Brenda. Yeah.
Yeah, so they did mention her today that Letecia was feeling down because she wasn't able to be there to support Harley, and she wasn't able to talk to her sister Brenda. And so I'm wondering if Brenda isn't going to take the stand at some point to talk
Yeah.
to
I don't
her
know. Well,
her mental state or something.
Brenda's her aunt, and she is on the witness list. And Julie and Amy are both on the witness list too. I mean, her whole
Yeah,
family is on the witness list, but so is Landon's family. All of them are on the witness list. Mom, dad, cousins, everybody is.
but it's right, right, right.
Yeah, like the whole witness list is full of both families. but that doesn't mean they're going to be there, you know. I mean, they've only got, what did they say, 7 witnesses left. We've just listened to 2. And I'm
I
pretty
know.
sure they've got Dr. Torres, Dr. Gomez. I think is it Gomez? Tell me I didn't mess that up. Gomes? I can't remember. They've got two more. So yeah,
I can't remember. I think you're right. Let me see.
yeah. I think it's 2 more. Wait,
They
they
have 2
had
more
7.
slated for tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, they
Because
had.
that was a whole debate of whether, or the whether if they were going to start at 10 or not.
Yeah, they're not sure. Guys, don't forget there is a weather alert for Colorado for tomorrow. So tomorrow morning may start late, may start at 10:30. It may actually be closed. If the weather is really bad and the sheriff's office can't get enough resources to the jail, then it may be closed, but it's doubtful because the weather is supposed to be in North Colorado. So the court may start late tomorrow. And let's see, supposed to be Dr. Grimmett, who lives in Hawaii, but he is here, and Dr. We already seen Dr. Moore. So I don't know who the other 2 are because they didn't give names. So we've got 3 more for tomorrow.
Let's
So we've
see
got
here,
Dr.
Indiana.
Torres for sure, and Dr. Grimmett. Dr. Grimmett and Dr. Torres, I know for sure. Those are their witnesses. They're experts from the Colorado. Oh, where she went for the evaluation. You know, what I'm talking about?
Jackie Grimmett. Is that her name? Yeah, Grimmett. Yep.
Yep.
And then there is a Thomas Gray and a Hashimoto.
I don't know if they're going to, but I know that they're doing Dr. Grimmett and Dr. Torres, and they're both from. Where is it that she got her evaluation?
Colorado State Mental Health Institute
Yes.
in
Yes, they're
Pueblo.
from there, so they're coming to talk
Yep.
about that. And I don't know, Mooney. I don't know if the family members are testifying for Letecia because when her brother got up there, that was really harsh. And Lumberton is a very small town, and they have been getting a lot of grief. He said his mom has been getting a lot of grief, a lot of backlash. When somebody does this, people look at the family and they say, "Oh, you made this happen," and I don't usually feel that way. I just don't. I think when you're a grown up, you're accountable for your own things. You make your decisions. Your family doesn't do that, right? I don't think her mom and her brother are accountable for what she did to Gannon. I think she's accountable, but her family's getting a lot of backlash, so I don't know. Um, Usually in cases like this, at the end, they will have someone come in to testify about Gannon's life. Usually it's the mom or the dad. They may put Al back on the stand because he's good at it, or
Mhm.
they may bring Landon. I hope they bring Landon. I hope she gets to say her piece because
Yeah.
I hope she can come in and at least tell the jury what her little boy was like. She's good at it. I've seen her on several interviews. She's good at talking about her little boy. So I don't know. I'm hoping that they will. That's usually what they do at the end of one of these. When a child is killed, they usually bring in a parent. But I don't know. I don't know. This case is
Yeah.
different. This case is different than one we usually see because they brought in every single person that worked on the case, right? The person that collected this data, the person that collected
Yes.
this data, the person that
They don't.
collected this data. Even though that we didn't get to find out what the data was, it was just the people that collected the data. They have
Yeah,
brought
you
in
have to wait
every
till the
piece.
next day to figure out what it even said.
Exactly. So, like with today, we got all that cell phone data, all the T1 data, all the 360 data. We got it all today on a pretty map, and I was so happy.
I know.
It took us like 6 days to get to that. So
Right.
I don't know. I can't predict this case. I just can't. I don't know. It's
Oh,
kind of open. And yeah, look at that list. That's the list. I mean, the lay witnesses, that would be, and see that at the top, Brenda acquired.
awkward. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I
Yep.
did see that.
And then
Here's that
Amy
Laurie. Yeah.
Lowry Bolton, that's her sister.
That's her sister. Okay.
That's
So
her
maybe she
sister.
did. Maybe I was mixing up Brenda because they said her sister, that she wasn't able to talk to her sister. So I'm wondering if
Yeah,
that's
that's her.
if
Well, her sisters are Amy and Julie. I
okay.
didn't see Julie on the list, but Amy is on there.
Okay.
So yeah. And let's see. That's weird because look there, you've got Amy Lowry up there and you got Amy Lowry down there. Go up a little. Up a little. Up a little. Go
Up.
up a little, girl.
Oh,
To
right
the
here.
no, up the page. Right there.
Amy.
Amy Lowry.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, so
there's
but I took and Dakota Locklear Lowry. That's her brother. So see, I think that's her. Oh wait, stay right there. Katrina Lowry, that's her cousin. Deborah Lowry, that's her mom. You see that? That's her whole family right there.
Oh, okay.
See, Deborah Locklear is her mom. Katrina Locklear is her aunt. Amy Lowry is her sister. Dakota Locklear Lowry was her brother. I don't recognize the ones beneath.
Okay.
I don't
Marks.
recognize those,
Yeah.
but that whole group, that's her family. Harley Hunt
Okay.
is above. See, Harley's above that. Landon is above that. Trying to see who else you've got up there.
Let's see here.
But yeah, that whole group right there is her family. So yeah, they're on the list. They could come, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't sound like they're going to call them all.
Don't
Yeah.
forget, this is the prosecution's list.
Oh, yeah.
This is not the
Not
defense's
the
list.
complete. Yeah.
Yeah, the defense has not submitted a complete list yet. I've been looking. I mean, they've submitted some, which are experts, and they may only have experts. They may not have others. I don't know. We're not sure
Right.
yet.
Right.
Hello?
Hi, Marianne.
Hello.
Yeah. So, well,
Well,
we
the
got
thing is,
a
Mooney,
little
remember that list you looked at, Mooney, that is the prosecution's list. Those people were subpoenaed by the prosecution. So that doesn't mean that they will say things the prosecution wants them to say, but that's generally what it means, you know. I don't know, but today that the special agent Howland was on the defense's list, so that I don't understand. So I don't know.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Nancy, you had asked about the both of their families are on this list
Yep.
here,
Yeah.
but we don't know if they're going to get called though, because it
Nope.
sounds like they were going to end early, and
Yeah.
so
This was supposed to be an 8-week trial, right? It's
Right.
going to end after 3 because they said they're going to end next week. Oh,
so that'll be
end
week
after 4.
5.
Yeah. That's week 4, right?
It's week 4 now, so that'll be week 5.
Sorry, week 5. I'm losing my mind.
No, it's okay. It all rolls together each week. Actually, I think I put week 3 yesterday, and I was like, wait a minute, we're on week 4. What am I
That's
doing?
why I did it. It's your fault.
It always is.
So yeah, it's going to be a 5-week as opposed to an 8-week, but they have to put on there everyone that they wanted to call. So yeah, the entire family's on there. Hers, his, and the thing is, a lot of those names, the Lowrys, the Bullards, they mix. That's what I was saying. They were all from Lumberton, so a lot of those names, like
they know each other. Yeah.
Yeah, there are Lowrys in Landon's family, and there are Lowrys in Letecia's family. So, it's hard to keep them straight. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah.
Who's going to say what?
I'm not saying that they're related. I'm just saying that they're from the same town and the names are the same. The town I live in, everyone is related in some way to my husband. So the name is everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like that. Anyway. Yeah, I was looking into Lumberton and I realized that everyone is from there. I was actually looking into Chance because I wanted to know more about Harley's dad. And yeah, he had a lot of family. He had a really nice obituary. They really talked big about him.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think they're related, Ashley. I don't think so. Not from what I could find. I couldn't find any cross, and I did find some ancestry relations, but so I couldn't find any cross. So, no grandpas or grandmas that were related or great grandpas. Didn't find any relations, so I don't think so. Just from the same town, same names. Maybe far back, farther than I can go, maybe. But
or they married into the family and got that name from being married to somebody. Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah.
The cat keeps on trying to crawl up this tree, and so it just now is leaning on me. Sometimes I just watch. I don't want her to destroy my tree, but sometimes I just watch her try to jump up it. She ends up smacking down onto my keyboard, and I'm like, "Okay, get down, get down.
Okay, that's enough.
You can't figure it out." So
That's hilarious.
yeah, I'm covered in modeling clay glue. Ah, fun.
What are you making, Ashley? That sounds like fun. Oh,
Yeah, so other than that, I mean, the doctor pretty much played right into the role of the defense that this is all baloney, her playing with her poop, and she never seen that. She never heard anybody else report that. The defense finally did ask a few questions, but again, they were roundabout questions that didn't really clear anything up for me, but just wonder why he's asking the question. And I'm hoping later on it makes sense, but for now, I'm just like,
yeah. He asked about alcohol. He asked if the company she worked for was for profit. Well, yes, sir. Let me explain something to you. Jails work with companies that are for profit. Yep, that's how it works.
yep,
And
yep.
then he asked about COVID and were there lawsuits, where she was still there. And she's like, "Well, if there was a lawsuit, I probably wouldn't know about it because it didn't involve me." You know.
Right, right.
He's like, "Did you know about it?" Well, I don't think so. Then he starts giving her privileged information, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Then they got to the molested versus sexually assaulted. I just, yeah.
And we start talking about pedos, and I'm just like, in the prosecution, the prosecution didn't even really object. I mean, I think
No,
they did maybe once to say relevance, but the whole thing was just
yeah,
bizarre. And I'm like, what?
there was one thing. Okay, so now he asked about a December 2019 visit to a psychiatrist. And he said, "Did you have a record of that?" And she said, "No." And he said, "Well, if she didn't tell you about it, would you be able to find it in the system?" He acted like he was stupid and he didn't know that you have to know the name of the doctor to get the records. Come on, Will
Mhm.
Cook. We know
Yeah,
that you knew that. And if you're watching, I'm calling you out, buddy. And
right,
then
right,
and then
right,
he
right.
asked about a 2018 stay in a Canadian mental health institute. Well, here's the thing. Albert was with her on that trip. And I'm pretty sure Albert would know if his wife sauntered off and went into a mental institution. So, yeah, I'm calling BS on both of those. If
Huh,
he
that's
shows, you didn't hear him ask about those? She
no,
said, yeah, she said that she didn't know anything about it and she couldn't get the records for him because Letecia never told her that. She asked Letecia, "Have you ever been inpatient? Have you ever seen a psychiatrist?" She said, "Nope, nope." So then
yeah,
he,
no, I did hear that. I did hear him say that. I was reading this message,
yeah,
which this is interesting. I never thought about it this way, but that she's a sympathizer with pedos
yes,
because she's helping pedos, and so
yep,
that made it seem like she was not.
discredit her, sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
that.
him headed that way. I saw him headed that way because she does work with offenders as opposed to victims, and I saw him headed that way. But then he just stopped,
Yeah,
and I was like, "If that's the way you're gonna go full on. If you're gonna go for her, go for her. See if
right.
she can fight back. But then he just stopped, turned in another direction. He's
Yep.
like, "Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. Let's not talk about that. It doesn't matter if it's molestation or sexual assault. Let's just go here." Because
Now I'm
then
gonna.
he moved
Uh,
on to where was she kept. Then he wanted to know what these talks were like, if Letecia was in her cell, and if there were deputies outside the door. Well, here's the thing, Will Cook. She first of all killed a child, then she attacked deputies. So yes, she is in a cell under guard by two deputies because she tried to escape. Oh,
yeah.
and let's not forget, no one's brought it up, but she did try to escape while she was in jail.
Mm-hmm.
She actually brought it up to another inmate. She was gonna use a broom to open something, and she was gonna slip out. So
She
yes,
measured the window. She knows
yeah,
she can fit, and that could have been why she was losing weight.
yep, could have been why she wasn't eating. So yes, she was under guard. because she's a very bad prisoner. So he was making it seem like, oh, you had her under guard and then you wanted her to tell her all her secrets. You're a terrible doctor. Oh, come on.
Right. Do pedos give children alcohol to have, get their way with them? And she's like, Not always, no." And then he asked the question again, and I'm like, "Where is he going?" She
Exactly.
already answered it.
Yeah, he was like asked and answered twice, 3 times, Honor.
God.
He went nowhere with it. He didn't even ask like a follow-up.
No.
He didn't,
No.
he didn't say, well, is it possible they do this and then this happens and the child feels this way? He didn't even do that. I was like, what are you doing, Will? God. I wanted to like call him. Give me his cell phone number. Will, what are you doing? Like, we need to talk. You're losing it, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he goes to what level of care, what level was she kept in? Was she kept in A1 or A2? Was she in her cell 23 hours a day or not? Well, once again, she killed a little boy, which puts her in, a high security. She's accused of first degree murder, Will. They put you in a certain section, first of all. Second, then she tried to escape on the way while she was being extradited. She attacked a deputy. Yes,
Right.
she's going to be in a cell 23 hours a day. It's just how it is,
Right.
And,
She's trying to get out by any means possible. She will
Yeah.
take somebody down. And you don't think she wouldn't take that doctor down?
yeah.
If she didn't have 2 guards by her, or 2 guards. Yeah.
Yeah, if they had just taken her normally, just dope, just walked her down to the medical and said, here, sit in this chair and talk to the doctor. Are you kidding me? No.
Yeah. No way.
No. No, I don't think I would have been the doctor under this situation. No. I mean, if she came in normally and she had no previous, yes, she was accused of a crime, but she just came in normally, I don't think they would have had the deputies there. They might have had a different way of talking to her. We don't know.
Sure.
What we do know is that she did try to escape. So I was surprised that the prosecution didn't bring that up again, but I guess they felt like they didn't need to. Because it didn't really matter how she talked to her.
Sure, sure.
She didn't say, that's the other thing. That she comes back with this from the institute, she comes back with a diagnosis of bipolar, and they were like, no, she's not bipolar because she has not had episodes of depression where you're depressed for 4 days or more, and that she has not had manic instances where you're manic for 4 days or more, and they tried to explain the highs and lows, and he's like, well, could she really go shopping in a jail cell? Really?
You act like a teenage boy. Sounded so dumb.
I need to email Will Cook tonight. We need to talk about his testimony.
You gotta do better, buddy.
Yeah, do better. Make better choices, as Bailey Sarian would say. Make better choices.
Take that, Will Cook.
Yeah. I really thought that he could get somewhere with this doctor. I don't want him to, in any way, to get Letecia out. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I do not. But I do want him to represent her the best he can.
Right, right.
I don't want him to soft play it. I don't want him to just roll the ball in, If he doesn't hit hard, then, she's I don't want her to have
an appeal. Yeah. Me either. To put everybody through this again. He's got to do a little bit better. Yeah. We'll see what happens. See what happens tomorrow.
Yeah.
I won't be here tomorrow, as I mentioned on yesterday's live, but we'll pick up on. I don't believe there's court on Thursday. If that changes, I'll be here on Thursday, but I don't think there is. So we'll just pick up on Friday.
Yeah, I will take very good notes tomorrow.
Okay, I will too. I'll still be. I'll still be watching the trial. Yeah. I just won't make it tomorrow night.
Well, good luck tomorrow night. I hope you have a good time at your movie premiere.
Yeah, thank you. It should be fun.
Thank you for showing proof, Mooney, and I really appreciate that. We truly do.
You guys are terrible. I couldn't get away with anything with you two. So, So yeah, unless there's anything else that anybody wanted to talk about, I think we'll end it here. Is there anything is on your mind that we didn't cover,
No,
Jeannie?
no, I did. No, I just did want to say to Sandy, thank you again for letting me know about Anthony. That was great, and
Oh, that was
that is
great.
that is absolutely wonderful news. I have checked the I check for that trial constantly. I didn't know they were getting sentenced, so that's absolutely fantastic.
If
About time. So,
yeah,
but
they
no,
deserved it.
yeah, no, I don't think I have anything else. I think we went over everything. So, I hope you have a good time tomorrow night.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the info you always bring. I love it. And
You're
thanks for
welcome.
everybody for being here. Love you. And I
Yes.
will see you on Friday. All
All
right.
right. Thanks,
Have a
Hank.
good night.
All right. Bye.